At first glance, Venus appears to be the very definition of inhospitable. Its clouds are thick and suffocating, swirling with sulfuric acid, blocking any view of the surface. The atmosphere is a lethal mixture of carbon dioxide, making the air feel unbreathable. The surface temperature is a blistering 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hotter than the surface of Mercury, despite Venus being farther from the Sun. The planet's gravity, its extreme heat, and its oppressive atmosphere make Venus a near impossible place for life, at least in the form we know it. But what if I told you that Venus wasn't always this way? That, perhaps, there was a time when this planet could have been as welcoming as Earth. A time when its surface was cool enough for liquid water to flow, when the air was thick with the oxygen and hydrogen molecules necessary to sustain life. What if, just millions of years ago, Venus was a vibrant, habitable world? Billions of years ago, Venus could have been a very different world. Scientists believe that in its early history, Venus might have had oceans, vast, deep bodies of water. Oceans that stretched across the surface, reflecting the light of the sun and creating a blue and green planet, much like our own Earth. Venus, in its youth, may have been a world with a more Earth-like atmosphere, where water vapor mingled with nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and oxygen in a delicate balance, allowing temperatures to remain mild. Imagine this, a young Venus, with its oceans teeming with microbial life. The planet's thick atmosphere would have been a greenhouse, but one that didn't run out of control. The greenhouse effect, responsible for warming the planet, would have kept Venus at a comfortable temperature, warm but not unbearably hot. A temperate world, with gentle rains and possibly even clouds of water vapor, instead of the sulfuric clouds we see today. This picture is not purely speculative. There is evidence that Venus once had conditions favorable for liquid water. Ancient riverbeds, valleys, and other surface features suggest that at one point, water may have flowed across the planet. Could Venus have once been home to simple microbial life? Could it have been another Earth, a fertile ground for the emergence of life, even if only in the form of bacteria? It's a tantalizing possibility that continues to drive our exploration of this mysterious planet. But something catastrophic happened to Venus, a change that would strip it of its habitability. Over time, the planet's atmosphere became a thick, heavy layer of carbon dioxide, trapping heat like a blanket around the planet. This is what scientists call a runaway greenhouse effect, a scenario in which a planet's atmosphere thickens with gases, causing the surface temperature to rise beyond what life can endure. As the planet warmed, the oceans evaporated, and as the water vapor rose into the atmosphere, it too trapped more heat. There was no longer enough liquid water to form clouds or cool the planet. The balance of gases in the atmosphere was lost, and the planet spiraled toward the uninhabitable world we see today. The surface temperature soared, creating an environment where liquid water could no longer exist. What remained were vast, dry plains, superheated volcanic regions, and a surface that would melt any spacecraft that dared to land. Venus' runaway greenhouse effect became a perfect storm, one that transformed the planet into the furnace it is today. This gradual but relentless warming, sustained by an unforgiving feedback loop, turned Venus from a potentially habitable world to one of the hottest places in our solar system. But despite the hostile conditions Venus faces now, evidence points to a time when it was a much more temperate world. Thanks to data from spacecraft like Magellan, we've been able to peer beneath the thick clouds of Venus. What we've found are signs of a planet that once had rivers, lakes, and maybe even seas. The surface features suggest the action of flowing water, erosion patterns, valleys, and what appear to be shorelines, remnants of ancient water bodies. Scientists have also examined Venus' atmospheric composition. Their findings suggest that Venus once had a more stable and Earth-like atmosphere, with more nitrogen, oxygen, and water vapor. This means that Venus could have been, in its early days, far more similar to Earth than it is now. Recent studies suggest that Venus may have once had a water cycle, a cycle similar to Earth's, where water evaporates from the surface, rises into the atmosphere, and then condenses to fall back as rain. The discovery of certain isotopic signatures in Venus' atmosphere suggests that there was once liquid water, perhaps enough to form oceans, on its surface. And this idea is not just theoretical. If Venus had an Earth-like climate, its surface may have been an ideal habitat for microbial life. What would life on Venus have looked like? It's a question that remains open, but the idea of microbial life thriving in the oceans of ancient Venus is not so far-fetched. Just as Earth's oceans gave rise to early life, Venus' ancient seas might have hosted similar microbial organisms. With liquid water, moderate temperatures, and a mixture of organic molecules, the ingredients for life would have been present. In fact, there are theories that life could have evolved in Venus' more hospitable past, much like it did on Earth. Venus' early atmosphere, rich in carbon dioxide, could have driven the chemical reactions needed for life to arise. Perhaps, like Earth, Venus harbored simple forms of life such as bacteria or even the precursors to more complex organisms. Today, Venus may no longer have liquid water on its surface, but some scientists still look to the clouds of Venus as a possible habitat for life. These clouds, although acidic, have been found to contain certain chemicals, like phosphine, that, on Earth, are produced by microbial life. While these findings are still under investigation, they suggest that Venus may hold secrets of life in its skies, even today. But, despite its early promise, Venus' fate took a tragic turn. As the planet's atmosphere thickened and the oceans evaporated, any hope for life was dashed. The heat continued to build, and what was once a world of oceans and temperate climates was consumed by the unbearable heat of a runaway greenhouse effect. The volcanoes of Venus, once perhaps a source of warmth and geothermal energy, became drivers of this destructive process, releasing even more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and pushing the planet's climate into a vicious cycle of warming. In the span of billions of years, Venus underwent a transformation so complete that it became a planet devoid of surface water, with a dense atmosphere made up almost entirely of carbon dioxide and clouds of sulfuric acid. Venus, once a candidate for harboring life, became a cautionary tale, a planet whose potential for life was lost due to unchecked climate change. Today, Venus is a lesson, a stark warning about what might happen to a planet when the delicate balance of its atmosphere is disrupted. The story of Venus is not just about a lost world. It is a glimpse into the future of Earth if we are unable to control our own climate. The runaway greenhouse effect that reshaped Venus could one day affect us if we don't curb our emissions and stabilize our atmosphere. As we watch Venus, we can't help but wonder, could our own planet one day face the same fate? Could Earth, too, fall victim to a runaway greenhouse effect? The fate of Venus serves as a powerful reminder that we must protect the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth before it's too late. Despite Venus' transformation, the search for life beyond Earth continues. Venus may no longer be the cradle for life, but its story provides valuable insights into the broader question of habitability in our solar system. Could other worlds, too, have once been habitable? Could they hold the keys to understanding the origins of life, and perhaps even life itself, in some form beyond our planet?